WTF Nation Radio.
Oh, hey there. Mike Golf here. Do you suffer?
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You are listening to WTF Nation Radio. This is The Green Room. I'm your host, Jason. I am joined with my awesome, most amazing, fucking badass fucking co-host, Charlie. How you doing, brother?
Oh, you're going to make me blush. How you doing, man?
He's actually blushing right now. Man, I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great, man. How's your weekend?
Not bad. It's pretty chill. Meemaw came, so Meemaw's here now. She's going to be here for a week.
Heck yeah. Hey, Meemaw. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. They're in there eating my dinner.
Yeah.
I'm missing out on it, so if I'm playing a little distracted, you might know why.
Missing
out on Meemaw's cooking.
Because you're missing out on the grub. Man, if Meemaw is anything like a mama, man, I guarantee you there's plenty of food in there for you.
Oh, there will be, but I'm not eating it right now. But I'm okay. I got weed and good company, so.
Where?
The show must go on.
Where's your good company?
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, man.
You were saying such nice things to me, or about me, to lead off the show.
Oh, blush.
Blush.
Oh, shit, man. So,
how's your weekend? How's your week been?
My week's been fucking awesome. All right, so
you had a trip come up last week.
Yeah, we kind of had a trip come out of the blue. One of our buddies invited us out to a lake, and we took our boat out and got a little fishing in. Caught a few cats. got the boy out there on the water. He really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we just did we didn't have a show. We just did a little online Xbox Live stream session. It was pretty fun.
Hell yeah.
A bit of fun.
Yeah, I mean, even if you guys had done a show, I would not have known it because I have no cell phone service out there.
No bars.
Like, none. There are no cell bars out there. It's fucking great. You know, I get out there and it's way out in the country right on the water. You know, walk about 15, 20 steps and you're on the dock. It just really just kind of gives you a chance to unwind a little bit, you know? Yeah, you know. All right, guys. So tonight we've got some pretty interesting, maybe some would say controversial topics that we're going to go over.
Definitely polarizing.
All right. But guys, we're going to go ahead and open up the lines. So give us a call, WTF Nation Radio. Call into the green room at 415-889-8367. Again, that's 415-889-8367. We got the lines open. Go ahead and just give us a call in. So, you know, the past couple of weeks, you know, we didn't get to talk about it last week with me and the fam out at the lake. But there recently, as all of you, unless you're living under a rock, have heard, there was a shooting in a Florida school. And since there have been smaller shootings and copycat threats across the nation in small towns, big towns alike. As a matter of fact,
it's maddening, dude. It's
a matter of fact, man. Whenever we were at the lake, we came back. We kept him out of school on Monday, and Monday they had a fucking shooting threat at the school, at an elementary school.
Yeah,
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I'm not sure we were talking about it on the radio show, but there was I passed it around chat, and I also posted about it on Facebook. The unsubstantiated vague threat at my daughter's school, the email that we got,
right,
and that they couldn't give us any information. They just increased the police presence. I mean, in situations like that happened 2 days before this Parkland shooting incident. I mean, it's clearly I don't think it's connected, but I'm just saying you're just referring to your statement about it hitting, you know, anywhere.
It's just a sad state of affairs, man.
It really is. My kids have to worry about fucking active shooter drills, you know, and what to do. They're doing lockdowns all the time because of it. I mean, it's necessary because I'd rather the kids be prepared, but the fact that that's something that they have to prepare for, it's tragic.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a loss of innocence, you know. What were you thinking about in school whenever you were?
I damn sure wasn't thinking about live shooter drills.
And maybe tornado drills and fire drills were the
Well,
of it.
I mean, we also had nuclear drills, so I mean,
forgot about them.
We didn't have the shooter drills, but we did have the nuclear drills. So
the nuclear drill was comparable to the tornado drill, right? Just get under your desk and
it's really just duck, tuck, and kiss your ass goodbye kind of thing. You really don't. If you're anywhere near the fucking blast of a nuclear fucking device. Good luck. Good luck. But no,
you're gonna grow an arm out your neck.
All right. If you do survive, you're going to be growing extra limbs and eyes and.
Maybe that's what it's going to take to push evolution.
Right.
To the next level.
Well,
nuclear winter.
Here's an example of a smaller town in Georgia. They had this, according to WGNO.com, armed social studies teacher arrested at Georgia High School. In Dalton, Georgia, an armed social studies teacher has been arrested after shots were fired at a high school in a small town in northern Georgia. 53-year-old Jesse Randall Davison, a social studies teacher who also serves as the play-by-play voice for the Dalton High School football team, fired at least one shot before barricading himself inside a classroom, according to the Dalton Police Department. The DPD reported that shot or shots had been fired at Dalton High School just after 11:15 a.m. on the department's official Twitter account. Minutes later, DPD added that the armed suspect was barricaded inside a classroom at the high school and urged parents not to come to the school. Students were transported to the Northeast Georgia Trade Center for pickup, according to DPD. And at 11:23, the department tweeted an update that read, quote, "The teacher is in custody. No students were harmed and no children were endangered during the shooting, but one student did sustain an ankle injury running inside the school during the evacuation," according to the DPD. Sorry about that. It sucks to be clumsy. The DPD released the name of the arrested teacher in a tweet just before 1:30 p.m. And they give screenshots of the tweets and all.
Yeah.
This
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this was some
well, it almost sounds like counter propaganda.
Gun reform. Someone who wants gun reform that's going to do that to kind of push it. Once word got out that they were going to arm teachers, he's like, "Hey, look how good of an idea this is going to be."
Exactly, counter propaganda. That's
exactly.
This is to counter the teachers getting firearms, but it does raise a question. It does require some time for pause. Thinking about arming teachers, you obviously they'll have to go through some background checks and scrutiny, but so do a lot of people that are able to do a lot of this bullshit. All of the crimes and everything that we've had recently, people have purchased these weapons legally. So it's it's a little sketch.
Yeah. No, it's there's always going to be the politicizing of these tragedies. I mean, it's the shit that happened in Parkland. I mean, bodies were as cliche of a saying as that is, the bodies weren't even cold.
Yeah.
Or the Senator Dianne Feinstein comes out saying, "Hey, we need gun control."
Well,
I mean, we've got to that point where as a nation we don't grieve anymore. Like we used to grieve in these tragedies, like whenever things in Columbine happened. It wasn't immediately politicized. We need to ban guns,
right? And thinking about it, okay, I feel bad for those children. My heart goes out to them, but the fact that this got politicized as quickly as it did, all right, the day after, literally, or the day of. I mean,
it was hours after.
There were students that were already congregated together and calling for more gun regulation and getting as much attention, as much traction as they were getting. And only 2 months ago, the same kids were in videos eating Tide Pods. So, exactly.
It's the hands of gun reform and a bunch of kids' hands. Granted, they went through a tragic event. They really did.
Well, it also makes me wonder. Yeah, I've read some articles where they say that those students got a lot of coaching from some far left adult staff that were in their school.
I mean, you kind of gotta. I mean, they were way beyond the typical cynicism of teenagers.
Yeah.
We're like snarky, "I'm gonna get you" jabs,
And I'm not gonna say that it's a bad thing that they've got some adult supervision on this conquest, but it kind of makes me wonder how much.
There's the fuck out of me that there are people that are using kids that are supposed to be grieving as a fucking a mouthpiece to push their fucking their agendas. It bothers me a lot.
Well, I don't know if so. I'm imagining that those children do indeed feel the conviction behind what they're talking about. They just went through a tragedy.
What they're talking.
Say again.
About. I don't think that they understand half of what they're talking about.
I
mean, I understand that they went through tragedy and they're emotional to it right now, but I do think that their argument is too
Emotional.
Well, not emotional.
I think it's too emotional.
It's too polished for me, you know? That's me personally. You can agree with me or not, but I think that these, like you're saying, there is some coaching. Yeah, I mean, these are kids. These are, high schoolers. Yet they're out there talking like they're fucking running for Congress. I mean, that's just, put a fucking, send up a few flags, And the fact that, I get that they're grieving, but the fact that we have adults in America willing to take advantage of that grief, and they're in politics.
Yeah, I mean, it's sick.
And I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm not conservative, I'm a liberal, independent. So, I mean, it's not a bias against fucking them because I'm a Republican or I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not a big Trump supporter. He's a president. I want to see him succeed, but he wasn't my first choice. But just because he wasn't my first choice doesn't mean I'm going to fucking throw a temper tantrum and say not my president and act like idiots in public.
Oh yeah, man. That's that's a whole other 3-show segment talking about the butt hurt and everything that comes along with it. I watched the Dave Chappelle. He had a special on Netflix come out, and he talks about why he wants to fucking retire from comedy is because people are too fucking butthurt. They can't take a joke. They can't laugh at anything because they're too busy trying to find a reason to get mad at it.
Who was that comedian in the day that said, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke?
That was Ralphie May.
No, he had a sitcom. This guy. It was on Comedy Central. Carlos Mencia.
Oh, okay. No, Ralphie May had a segment where he said, it's a fucking joke.
But, I mean, can you imagine a comedian saying that nowadays? I mean, I'm sure that some do, but that shit doesn't make it on Pandora.
Yeah. No, but Ralphie May was...
Because it would be boycott.
Well, Ralphie May was Whitey McWhitey, right? Big, heavy white guy. And he grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, and he was ghetto as fuck. I mean, this kid was... I mean, he was fucking ratchet as hell, man, right?
Like that riff-raff guy?
What's that?
Is it like that riff-raff guy?
Oh, no, he wasn't quite that ratchet. But he was old school hood, right? Like he dressed up fucking OG. Like he dressed like
he was Black Dickies hood.
Right. Yeah. And no, he wore the yellow or the tan Dickies hood, right? But he told a lot of black jokes, and he said he was talking about how at one show that he got called out for being racist. He was like, fuck you. It's not racist. It's a fucking joke. People just can't understand that comedy is... The edgier the comedy is, the closer to reality it is, the funnier it is.
I think America kind of drew a line at, a comedian pretending to saw Donald Trump's head off. I mean, even liberal America was like, "Oh, Kathy Griffin."
Yeah, slow down. See, that's not even comedy. That's not even comedy. That's
and that's what I'm saying. That's the line.
That's pure.
America draws the line.
That's just being nasty. That's just being ugly. I mean, there's nothing funny about that. What's fucking funny about it?
Even CNN got rid of her on there. They used to have like the fucking New Year's special.
Right.
Yeah, that shit didn't happen this year.
I don't fuck with you.
People are destroying themselves. The people that are destroying their careers, like Kathy Griffin, are the same people that have been calling for change to have people held accountable for their words.
Oh, yeah.
So it's funny because she kind of became a martyr to her own cause, Because I mean, there's been talks with her trying to get in with Netflix, but even Netflix is like, no,
I don't know.
Touch that. Trump tweets, we lose customers.
Exactly. Well, I mean, dude. So she's just. I remember she had she went on and recorded a segment where she was just like, "Please give me a job. I'm funny." Like
she wasn't even really that funny.
No, she wasn't. She was a solid C list.
She's like right up there.
D list.
Carrot Top.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both ginger. You're a ginger.
Yeah, but see, I don't think that she was on the same level as Carrot Top, because Carrot Top kind of cleaned his ass up, and I think he's on up to like a
Cleaned
C.
his ass up and did a couple guest appearances on some movies.
Yeah, I think he's like a C or a B list.
A couple sets since then.
I mean, he turned his life around for fitness and everything. Like, I mean, that dude's ripped, man.
Yep.
But
a lot of meth heads are pretty ripped too. A lot of cocaine heads run marathons. I'm just saying.
That's true. I get it, man.
A lot of us potheads kill these cookies like I'm killing.
Oh, man. So I went to Hardee's for dinner tonight, and the meal that I got had a cookie with it, and I was not disappointed.
That's pretty cool.
Not at all.
Not like I'm falling in love with Walmart, being able to shop online and just drive up there and pick the stuff up.
All right.
Because it's like I usually do the shopping when I'm stoned.
See,
So,
I
so
try
for me,
not
it's
to do
nice.
that.
Like, I get surprises, and I've got a couple, those oatmeal cream cakes. I got the Star Crunches, and then these like little turtle sandwiches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but see,
Nuts
so
and caramel, dude, man, I'm gonna get fat. A couple out of that, my Meemaw's here. I'm gonna gain 12 pounds off that. Too.
Yeah, dude, you're done, man. You're done.
Yep.
So we're talking about the politicization,
Politicizing.
yes, where they politicized the shooting immediately, right? And it got me to thinking, right? So we've got one of the more liberal shows out on public network now on Comedy Central.
It's only liberal because marijuana is not federally legal. That's the only reason it's even considered liberal.
I don't know. I think the rest of, I mean, dude, Jon Stewart's got some pretty fucking, he's pretty liberal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things that he's pretty fucking out there. But anyway, I digress. That's on Comedy Central, right? So Comedy Central is considered a pretty liberal
Media source.
You start looking into it, and I just wanted to look and see who owned Comedy Central, and you find out that Viacom owns Comedy Central. Well, when you go into and you start looking into Viacom's holdings and where they've got investments, and you start finding a lot of interesting things. So Paramount, a pretty conservative outlet.
Paramount Pictures.
Yeah. Paramount Pictures. And Fox, Paramount, Home Entertainment. Another thing where, you're looking at some pretty conservative. And as you carry on, you see all of these, you see a myriad of liberal and conservative outlets owned by the same company. But whenever they start putting out information, it's the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is fucking saying. And that makes you think. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder what the fuck.
It's kind of double dipping. You're getting some of both pools, I guess.
Well, I mean,
just about everything right now is it's politicized. There is no better example of hyper partisanship than 2018 America.
Well, when you want fake news to go out, how do you make it happen? You make all of the major news outlets talk about it. How do you make them talk about it? You own them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how this shit gets out. I mean, dude, it's a little. I mean, it's a little bit more than just a little disturbing.
No doubt.
We talk about, and people say they dismiss the fact that our media outlets are owned by the same people, and the narratives are laid out to us by them as whatever fucking narrative they want us to get. And they scoff at that, but it's laid out right here. I mean, it took me 5 minutes to fucking find this information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. You think Comedy Central, you think MTV. I mean, nowadays you think ESPN. It's just all the same things. It's just politics are injected into everything now. Like before, Comedy Central had shows on the air that had zero to do with comedy or with.
I quit watching South Park whenever they started putting so much politics into it. I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, and now it's because even our media moguls know that you don't have to be creative after you see what the reality TV has gotten.
Well, what got me to thinking about this, what got me to thinking about it was the fact that, you see it where The Simpsons, all right, and you've seen, I mean, there are examples all over the place. The Simpsons they've predicted the shit that's fucking happening in episodes.
They have a wizard. Okay, no, they have a fucking soothsayer.
I'm saying
something that. So that doesn't count.
Like the game score.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're a little salty about that, but you can't. I mean, really? Come on.
But no, it's the Simpsons. They have to have some magic.
Yeah, it's who owns them. I'm saying it just. I mean, you have to. I mean, these are some things. If I have to put my tinfoil hat on, I fucking will. All right.
Do you think The Simpsons would have been as successful on a different channel,
on a different network? No, I don't think so, man.
I think it could have made because what was on the air whenever The Simpsons came to be?
Roseanne.
What was on Fox? Oh God.
Well, Fox was Simpsons.
Yeah, no, that's Matt Groening. Fox signed The Simpsons from Groening.
Yeah,
But if they would have went to a different thing, would they have launched that program? Say if they would have gone to CBS instead of Fox.
Yeah, CBS wouldn't have. I don't think they would have had the market. It took the conservatives to bring it home.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty cool. I do like The Simpsons, though. I've been an avid watcher of The Simpsons for a while.
Oh, yeah, dude. I grew up watching them, man.
Yep.
Every fucking Friday, I was watching them. That was what it was. Yeah. It's just what it was. But, no, I mean, I got to thinking about that. I got to thinking about, how, you see show on South Park and Family Guy and Simpsons, and you see these shows that are seemingly, I mean, they're supposed to be entertainment, but they end up being pretty fucking prophetic. Prophetic, not pathetic, prophetic. And it just...
prophylactic.
But you just kind of want to think about it. I don't know, man. These are the things that I think about whenever I get out and toke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are things that are common. What's the word I'm looking for? Commonly debated, topics whenever you smoke. Because you get to relax a little bit and think about the funnier shit in life, and not always, oh God, the world's fucking crumbling around me,
Well, hell, the government kind of took a little bit of a jab to the face the other day.
Did you hear that Sessions and Trump are beefing again?
Oh, dude, they're always beefing. Mr. Magoo, but I like that new one. Mr. Magoo.
They're beefing.
So Trump was, President Trump is reportedly quoted as calling Attorney General Jeff Sessions Mr. Magoo. And if you look at the cartoon and you look at Jeff Sessions, it's not that far off.
I didn't hear that. That's fucked up, though. Why would he do that?
Because, I mean, dude, the man's got no respect for the people around him.
Sessions is gonna walk up to him with an old, Nomex glove.
Well, shit.
Fucking slap him across the face with it and challenge him to a duel.
Well,
You have insulted my honor.
Right. I came across this a little bit ago from Mom. We've got some papers. Pro Marijuana Group sells rolling papers with Jeff Sessions' face on them. Attorney General Jeff Sessions is no fan of marijuana advocates, but it turns out the cannabis community has more love for the Alabama politician than previously thought. A group called Do Declare, a group called hashtag Jeff Sesh has started a website to sell rolling papers with Jeff Sessions' face on them.
Emphasis on the hash.
Hash. Customers can choose between either black or white papers.
That's racist.
That's racist, man. Black or white papers, and both boxes feature a cartoon version of Sessions' face smoking a joint, smoking a doobie. The website is meant to draw attention to the Attorney General's anti-cannabis stance and motivate people to share their thoughts on marijuana legalization using the Jeff Sesh hashtag. They write on their website that their goal is to tell Jeff Sessions that, quote, "We're not criminals, junkies, or idiots.
Is it
Regular Jeff." What?
Are they for sale?
I'm getting there.
Sorry. Northern Lights. This Northern Lights hesitation, man. I haven't had a chance to look at the article.
Raise your hand, man.
Well, you weren't looking.
Because I was reading.
Hands up.
Oh, man, guys. So if you're just tuning in, this is kind of a regular occurrence here, guys. We just kind of shoot the shit on the show, and anything that we're interested in, we figure there's going to be one or two of y'all that might be interested in it, too. So thanks for joining in. And if you're just tuning in, give us a call in, 415-889-8367. 415-889-8367.
One or two of them is double our fan base, so 50%. What are you saying? 50%.
Hell yeah. But last month, Sessions repealed an Obama administration policy that protected states with legalized marijuana and has alluded to cracking down on cannabis industry since taking office. Unfortunately for this campaign, rumors around that Jeff Sessions may not be the Attorney General of the United States for much longer, although that might make the joints even better, a celebration for getting rid of America's biggest anti-marijuana crusader. I do kind of like that idea.
I dream of a society where these papers become currency.
That would be fucking awesome. But so you follow the where they were talking about Jeff Sessions may not be the Attorney General very much longer. There's a hyperlink in there, so you follow that link on down through the rabbit hole. I don't usually follow a whole lot of links because I really don't like the rabbit holes that we go down. But
it gives your phone Ebola.
It does sometimes, man. But this one's pretty legit. So Donald Trump scolds Jeff Sessions for his handling of surveillance abuse. Considering the number of people who have resigned or been fired from the Trump White House, it's not surprising when news reports come out about infighting in the administration. But it is unusual when the president and a cabinet member start having a nasty fight in public. It goes on, and it's got a tweet here from President Trump. Why is Attorney General Jeff Sessions asking the Inspector General to investigate potentially massive FISA abuse? Will take forever, has no prosecutorial power, and already late with reports on Comey, etc. Isn't the IG an Obama guy? Why not use Justice Department lawyers? Disgraceful. So we're starting to see.
What did he call him, Mr. Magoo?
Yeah, right. And then a couple of days later, he's calling him Mr. Magoo. So all of our weed heads out there, guys, just stand fast. Stand fast. If you're in a state that's illegal, just stand fast.
They're going to keep doing it regardless.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Keep doing it. But stand fast on national legalization. Smoke them if you got them. But make sure you have that DD-214. If you've got that in hand, that makes it a lot easier. Because if you don't, then you go for a fucking UA, and then you get in trouble, and then you blame the green room. But the green room has no culpability. So don't blame us for you being a fucking idiot.
I'm going to sit here and keep smoking weed, whether you have your DD-214 or not. I got mine.
I got mine. I got my blue card. Shit.
And I'm in a legal state. Same here. I got a blue card, too.
Well, hell, I'm going to be in a...
I also got a card.
Hell yeah. Well, shit, I'm going to be in a legal state next month.
Oh, shit, they're balloting it?
Or not next month, next week. I wish,
yeah,
dude. No, North Carolina isn't a ballot state. So we don't even fucking get the choice to fucking vote on it. It's some bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Some definite bullshit. But, you know, since we're talking about Jeff Sessions, right? His area of influence, his cronies kind of took a little bit of a jab in the face. So last year, was it last year or a couple years ago, we had that Nevada rancher, Cliven Bundy.
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
Well, the judge dismisses case against Nevada rancher Cliven Bundy and his sons, according to the LA Times. It started 4 years ago. Okay, it was 4 years ago when Cliven Bundy and his sons refused to pay federal grazing fees and stared down the government.
No. This is different.
What?
Hang on. You're referring back to the original case.
Yeah.
Like the Malheur was only a couple years ago, a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the birdhouse. No, dude, I'm talking.
They squared off before.
Yeah, this is the ranchers. This is whenever we had all the people show up and with their rifles, all walking up and down and running security around the perimeter of his property and all that. Yeah, that's what this is.
I got you.
Now, it started 4 years ago when Cliven Bundy and his sons refused to pay federal grazing fees and stared down government agents in an armed standoff outside their Nevada ranch. The Bundys dared the federal government to arrest them. The government did, charging them with a range of felonies. Challenge accepted, they said. Well, on Monday, a federal judge in Las Vegas set them free. The decision left federal prosecutors swallowing another defeat at the hands of a family whose defiance has become a rallying cry for Westerners who believe the federal government has no business managing public land. For 4 times now, in high-profile cases in Nevada and Oregon, the Bundy family and its allies have beaten the federal government in court. For the latest showdown, supporters set up banners and signs on Las Vegas Boulevard. One drove from Montana to provide Facebook updates for devotees on the cause. At least 100 Bundy backers filled the courtroom Monday. Some wore shirts with American flag motifs. Others carried pocket constitutions in their button-down shirts. More than a few wore cowboy hats. Their heroes sat up at the U.S. District Judge Gloria Navarro. Cliven Bundy, 71, wore a jailhouse jumpsuit. His son, Ryan, 44, who led a large group of supporters in prayer before entering the courtroom, removed his cowboy hat. Another son, Amon, 42, and a militia member, Ryan Payne, barely moved. It was their movement. Navarro rebuked the federal prosecutors using the words flagrant and reckless and describing how they withheld evidence from the defense before saying, quote, the universal sense of justice has been violated and dismissed the charges. So it goes on talking a little bit about the background of why Judge Navarro said, no, fuck you. You guys got fucked up, but the U.S. Attorney's office kind of took a little bit of a smack in the face on that. They bundled it, they fucked it up, and now Bundy is free again. Now, Judge Navarro did say that they would have the opportunity to present evidence as to why they should reconsider the case.
Like an appeal?
Yeah. So she did give them that option, that they do have the chance to appeal. And the Attorney General's office said that, U.S. Attorney's office said that they weren't sure how they were going to proceed. So, more to come on that one.
Yeah.
But all those loaf protectors, they're
loaf keepers.
Loaf keepers. They've got something to keep them warm tonight.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm kind of torn on this. So this was county land that he was paying county grazing rights to, right? His cattle ended up getting onto federal land that was within the county, and he was saying that, and he refused to pay the federal grazing rights as well because he already paid to allow them to graze within the county. I see his argument. You know, he was already paying.
Fire involved.
He was already paying the county. He was already, following the law, but he wasn't quite following the law. He knows that was federal land. All right. I mean, I feel like this was kind of a fuck you moment for them. But I think that this is definitely the way to do it, is to go through the courts. But they need to, I think they need to change their tactics. Instead of trying to keep beating them for being arrested and trying to beat the federal government in a court case, they really need to get the states out there to vote and say, hey, look, we'll handle these lands. These can be state lands. Our counties are more than capable of handling these grazing lands. And that would be steadier income for the state. I mean, that.
You know how the government is, though. I mean, even the Republican Party talks about smaller government involvement, but at the same time, bullshit. It's bullshit how for so long, like, states have surrendered their rights to the government, to the federal government. We haven't really been a nation of states that have their own rights. It's everything is inferior to federal law.
Yeah.
I just think it's there's so much overreach that dates back for as long as I can freaking remember. It's not a Trump thing or an Obama thing or a Bush thing or a Clinton thing.
It's a government thing.
System thing.
It's an overreaching government thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all it's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of disappointment on my end, man. But I think that it was pretty fucking awesome that they were able to. I always like seeing the little man win, and this is. I mean, he's by far not.
Thumb in the eye.
He's by far not the little guy, right? I mean, he's got a lot of fucking money. To be able to fight this, you've got to have a lot of fucking money, right?
I mean, shit, dude. After what happened up at the. I could swear that there was something to do with the reason they were arrested was, or wait, no, that's a second group, right?
Yeah, so he was arrested. All right, he got arrested because of the great, right? But he had one of his sons is a militia member that was out at the birdhouse in Oregon that got overrun, and one of the guys got sent a box of gummy dicks and all that.
Yeah, but why were they there to begin with? It had something to do with there was someone arrested in Oregon for they were burning their land.
I don't even remember what that was about.
Property. It had something to do with fire. It started on their land that they set to like clear out wildlife.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Hold on to federal land, and so they were arrested for arson, basically, because that's what it is. Federal officials had to go out and fight the fire. Like they had to bring. It was pretty substantial fire from what I remember reading.
Right.
But yeah, that's what started that, and I think it was both his sons, Cliven and Amon, that went up there to Oregon in support, and even they were like, "Hey, we don't want you guys here. You're making this shit a lot harder on us.